Hi, I'm Mary Jurgensen, Community Engagement Manager with Gary and Mary West PACE. PACE is a program of all-inclusive care for the elderly, providing comprehensive primary care and social services to seniors 55 or older looking to remain safe and independent in their home. Today, I've invited Kindra French from 101 Mobility, based in Carlsbad, California, to join us to share a little bit more about how she and her team helps keep seniors safe and independent in their homes each day, as well as some of the work she does with our participants here at West PACE. Thanks so much for joining us, Kindra. We're really excited to have you today.
Mary, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
So our relationship that we've enjoyed with 101 Mobility has been terrific over these past couple years. Can you share with us, though, first, what led you to really wanting to work with seniors?
My husband and I do 101 Mobility together. His background is in manufacturing and operations, and I had a background in healthcare, working in the dental field, as well as in education. And when we started dreamscaping about the idea of what it would be like to do something together, we wanted to do something that would truly make a difference for people and encourage people in our community. I grew up as a caregiver for my mom. She was diagnosed with a chronic pulmonary condition when I was very young. So I grew up helping with the meal preparation and the grocery shopping, and my dad was taking her to medical appointments and taking care of me. And when we discovered 101 Mobility and the types of solutions that we could offer people, and it's equipment for the home, it's things like stair lifts and ramps and wheelchair lifts and handrails and pool lifts. It was just really front of heart for us. I realized personally that had my mom had something like a stair lift, it would have made all of our lives as a family so much better. It would have helped us to stay better connected. I think she was very isolated because she was staying downstairs while the rest of us slept upstairs for several years, for the last few years of her life. And so it really pulled our heartstrings, as well as made sense for us working together in one mind and purpose in our areas of giftedness.
I think in just hearing you speak throughout the community, that heart really does show in hearing you speak. So thanks for sharing that. How do you know if improvements in the home really will help a senior? Are there simple things that caregivers and seniors can do to transform their living spaces?
Yes, absolutely. And that's, one of the things that we do is home safety assessments. When you're spending time with a loved one or caring for someone who maybe has some mobility issues or even some cognitive issues, there's definitely things to pay attention to that might indicate, hey, it's time to get a solution in place. If you start noticing that your loved ones are avoiding going up and down the stairs because maybe it's not comfortable for them. Either they're having to stop several steps because it's difficult to breathe, or they're experiencing pain in a joint when they're climbing the stairs. That might be a really good indicator that a stair lift or something like that could be really helpful for them. Paying attention to the way people are navigating around the home. If they're starting to reach out and glide their hand along a countertop or along a wall when they're walking, that's a great indication that balance bars, handrails, grab bars would be really helpful and sturdy. Because while reaching your hand out for the wall can help steady you, it's not going to stop a fall. And so just paying attention to those things is going to be really, really important for people.
Definitely. As you know, PACE is essentially an insurance plan, but we're really so much more than that. And when seniors come to us, they're really looking for the whole package. And I think what the beauty of a partnership with someone such as 101 Mobility really gives a PACE program is that while we can provide the primary care and social services without a problem, it's when we learn that a family member, a participant is really having a challenge, or a family member is having a challenge, safely helping someone in and out of a bathtub, Or maybe we learned that they can't navigate the stairs of the home any longer, so they can't make it to those doctor's appointments. And we can call you, and you can very simply make some changes in the home that transforms their lives and makes it such a much safer environment in which they can continue to live. In your experience, do insurance programs typically pay for these home improvements that you provide?
Yeah, that is a great question, and probably one of the most frequently asked questions I encounter. A lot of people assume that Medicare will provide a ramp for them if they're using a wheelchair, or will provide equipment for the home. And it doesn't. And that's one of the things I love about the PACE program, is that you have participants who would be eligible for skilled nursing, who are receiving a skilled nursing level of care, but they're able to do that at home, because PACE is the only program I know of that will provide for those particular needs. And it's just been a really wonderful partnership to be able to be a resource when those items are needed in the home. We're typically getting a call and providing an in-home assessment and determining, what solutions are viable for the person's needs and for the space constraints of the home.
And it makes just such a huge difference, literally overnight, in just the quality of living for that participant and the relief it provides the family and the caregivers as well. We talk a lot about the importance of being careful with who you bring into your home, regardless of our age, but I think even more so for seniors. Tell me the importance of working with a mobility specialist and what that might look like for a family and caregiver looking to work with one-on-one mobility.
Thanks, Mary. Yeah, it is very important to make sure that whoever is making modifications to your home, whether that's a renovation or installing equipment, that they are licensed, that they are trained and certified and have a good understanding of the equipment that they're installing. It's imperative. I'll give you a quick example. I got a call one afternoon from a woman. She's 92 years old, and she's the caregiver for her son. And she said, I had a custom ramp built and it's too steep and I can't get my son to dialysis. So I put her address in my GPS and drove directly to her home. And what I discovered was that the custom ramp that someone had built for her was a 42-inch long piece of plywood with 2x4s nailed to both sides as a curb. And that was installed over 3 steps. So it was not even a ramp. It was a bowl for a skate park. And we were able to install a ramp of an appropriate length for her so that she could safely take her son to his dialysis appointments. So that's just one example of why it's just really important to make sure that you're working with a company that is vetted, insured, licensed, and experienced in what you want. Ask questions, be your own advocate. It's really important because you want a solution that's going to be safe and reliable. You also want to find out, if I'm installing a machine like a stair lift, it's going to need service from time to time. That's a mechanical piece of equipment. Does the company you're working with offer service? Do they have a truly local presence? And that's something with 101 Mobility and some of our other local partners that you're sure to find. And it's not always the case when you look at the online clearinghouses and things like that. So ask those types of questions. Is the provider licensed? Are they experienced? Who does the installations? Or is it their employees, or are they hiring another contractor? And what kind of service is available after the equipment is installed? One other thing that people, I think, don't always take into account is, besides just your own home, sometimes there's governing agencies that you have to work with, like HOAs, park management. And again, so, when we go into a situation, like often in mobile homes, there's an approval process with the park management before we can install a ramp or a piece of equipment. We're often working with the park manager to find out what their requirements are, along with, what the state and local municipalities require.
And I think the other value of working with is someone who has been trained and really understands the challenges and the nuances of not only the home improvement side, it's working with someone who understands the difficult family dynamics. To say that everyone is happy and opens their door with wide open arms when they see a PACE representative come up to tell them about PACE, or when they see your team enter the home, might be a little naive. And I think we've talked about how it's hard to accept help. It's hard to accept that you may not be able to do as well for yourself any longer. So can you tell me a little bit about your approach in navigating some of those really difficult family dynamics?
Oh man, that is a loaded question, because I'm guilty as charged. Quite frankly, the drive for independence, I think, is so much a part of us. And a lot of times we can look at accepting help as losing independence when it's not. And, the example I always share is a couple of years ago, I was recovering from my first broken bones ever. I broke 2 toes, and I was on a non-weight bearing knee scooter at a networking event. Mary, I think you might have been there. And I'm going through a breakfast buffet line with my hands on my scooter, my plate balanced on the handlebars, my cell phone in one hand, and trying to serve myself food. And more than once, people came up and said, "Oh, let me help you." And the first thing out of my mouth without a thought was, "I got this, I'm fine. No, thank you, I'm fine." And I realized that when we go into a home with an older person or a person who's had a change in their mobility, and we're saying, "Let us help you with this stair lift," they're going, "No, I got this." And I'm sure you find that as well when you're going into a home and you're like, "Let me bring you into our care center. Let us do this for you." A lot of people don't want things done for them. And so whether it's your loved one that you're trying to encourage to go to a higher level of care or invest in a solution for their home, I think one of the things that's important for us is that we remember that we're doing with, not doing for. And engaging that person in need in that process, also helping them to understand that when they accept help, it's maintaining their independence, because it's keeping them from an incident that's going to take that independence away. And it's also, again, when I'm a parent and I'm looking at what my children are going through, I don't care how old my kids are, I'm always their parent. And my desire is to keep them from pain. And I think if your loved one is a parent and they are resistant to change, helping them understand how much their resistance to that solution is causing worry for you. And that by getting a solution, it's not just for them, but it's for the whole family, because it's giving the whole family peace of mind. That I'm no longer sitting up at night worried that my mom is going to fall down the stairs because I know there's a piece of equipment there. Or I'm no longer worried that my dad is going to be isolated at home because I know he's in a PACE program where people are checking in on him regularly and bringing him in for care and for therapy. It's just, it's so important for families to recognize that. And yeah. Good stories, right? And it's true.
And I think it's, what we love working with, with you all and some of our other community partners, it's just that trusted resource that we know it's a warm handoff, and that these families and caregivers will find that peace of mind. And I think once you just take a little bit of help, it makes it so much easier to accept so much more, that we're not trying to take over. We just want to partner in that journey together. So before we go, I just wanted to ask if there was anything else you wanted to share. You've given us a lot to think about, but maybe just a few little nuggets of wisdom.
Oh, thanks, Mary. I think that one of the most important things for people to realize is that we tend to put things off that we don't want to deal with. And so often we get calls from people in crisis because their loved one had a fall, or because their loved one is now dealing with a medical crisis, they need a solution that they should have invested in years ago. And so my encouragement to people is really don't put off making decisions, whether that's investing in a mobility solution for your home or partnering with a program that's going to have all-inclusive care to meet your needs. Don't put those decisions off, because it's the time is now. The time is today. And don't put it off until tomorrow, because we have no guarantees that tomorrow will be here.
It's a great way just to wrap everything up. So thank you so much for joining us today. I hope everyone who has been watching has found this to be helpful and useful. I encourage you, if you'd like to learn more about 101 Mobility and all the work that Kindra and her team do in the community, and PACE, definitely visit our website at www.westpace.org or give us a call at 760-280-2230. Until then, we hope you stay safe, stay informed, and stay healthy. Bye-bye.